When Fox gets word, you will get word. We will let you know immediately. And now the Natalee Holloway investigations. Natalee's mother planning to sue Joran van der Sloot in Holland. That's what Dutch newspapers are saying. Well, is it true? And the Aruban chief prosecutor now wants to question Patrick van der Eem, the man who secretly taped Joran van der Sloot talking about Natalee's death. Van der Eem says he has nothing to hide and that the prosecutor just has to call him. Joining us live in New York is John Q. Kelly, the lawyer for Natalee's parents. John, what's the story in this civil suit in Holland? We've gotten lots of calls about it.
Well, I've seen a couple articles too, Greta. The lawyer who's been quoted is not someone that Beth ever contacted. It's not someone she's ever spoken to, nor have I. But you know, I guess it's someone who's willing to put forward some suggestions, and we'll always listen to those.
Well, if what I understand from the news articles to be correct is what he intends to do is sue him in Holland, is that right?
There's been no discussion of that, Greta. This is not some lawyer that...
So is he making it up?
Well, I think it's just someone who offered to come forward and make suggestions, offer some help if we wanted it, you know, and that's fine, Greta. But yeah, I think it's not accurate.
All right. Does this come through Peter de Vries, the Dutch television guy at all?
Greta, it hasn't come from Beth. It hasn't come from myself. We'll just leave it at that. It's you know, you'd have
that's a dodge if ever I heard one.
I spent my whole life dodging you,
You're not
Greta.
that
That's
stupid. What?
I spent my whole life dodging you. Greta, listen, since I got involved in this case, right from the start, I looked at the civil remedies. Obviously, none of that's any secret to me. Beth and Dave are very comfortable with the lawyer they have, very confident in that. And, you know, we know the civil remedies available to Aruba. We were hoping the criminal case would, you know, result in a prosecution, and that's what we're still looking for.
All right, well, let's talk about Aruba. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it. What is going on there with Patrick, the guy that who taped Joran? He's now in Aruba vacationing and talking to someone about a book?
Well, I think there have been a lot of discussions about books, you know, after the show came out. But, you know, he's more than willing to talk to the prosecution. The prosecution should talk to him. I actually had a very long talk with Hans Moss today, probably a half hour more, going over things. I mean, it's no secret. I'm not happy with what's going on down there. I'm not happy with what's going on right now down there, and I'd like to see some things done. I think they have a strong circumstantial case right now against Joran. I wish they'd pull the trigger out. I wish they'd act.
Well, this is what sounds sort of silly, is that you tell me that Hans wants to talk to him and Patrick wants to talk to Hans and the prosecutor. Why don't they just do it? I mean, this has been going on for, it's like, just do it. I mean, you tell me they both want to talk to each other. The taper wants to talk to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor wants to talk to the taper, but it hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened yet.
Is Hans Moss back from his vacation in Holland?
They're on their own watch down there, Greta. They move at their own pace, and as I said, it gets me agitated just talking about it. But you know, looking at what they have right now, you've got a young man who walks into a bar. He pays for a drink. He handles it himself. He hands it to Natalee. She drinks it. She leaves with him. You know, as soon as she gets in the car, all of a sudden she's incoherent. She's lapsing in and out of consciousness. He's the last one with her alive. He makes up at least 3 different stories in terms of what happened to her, and he refuses to cooperate. She's never heard from again. I mean, it's not really hard to figure out.
And the other thing that's got me is that he must have told the police that first time he spoke to them, because why would they have asked Jug about the shaking and the epilepsy-type seizure or something? I think to myself, you know, what are the Aruban police up to? But anyway, that's for another day.
Well, now, let me throw one more thing in on that, Greta. May 31st, Joran was the first person interviewed by Jacobs when he was taking statements. Every police report subsequent to that, the statements made by Deepak, made by Satish, made by Beth that day, we have them all. There is no statement from Joran until June 9th.
Something's funny. I wish that, well, something's not quite right. That's all I can say.
It's very incriminating.
I'd love to see our State Department get a little busy on this one. Anyway, John, I got to go, but we'll do a lot more on this. Thank you.
Thanks, Greta.
Coming up, a woman entered a